good afternoon, or good night, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I'll be your host for today's show, the Great American Revolution Baking Show. Now, today we're going to be using a quick and easy recipe to bake one of my personal favorites, yogurt cake with green tea. We're going to be using these ingredients: 3/4 a cup of sugar, 1/3 a cup of liquid margarine, 3 large eggs, they have to be separated from the whites and the yolks, 1 yogurt, lemon flavor is preferred, but any other flavor works for me, 1 tablespoon of green tea, slightly crumbled, 3/4 of a cup of flour, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. The first step we're going to take is preheat the oven 350 degrees Fahrenheit and set it to 30 minutes. This is a very important step because it's what starts off the baking process. Much like how Britain passing the Stamp Act, which made paper products more expensive, started off the American Revolution. Next, what you want to do is grab 1/2 a cup of sugar and beat it together with the liquid margarine. Just like how during the Revolution, the Patriots, which could be represented by the sugar, and the British, which were the margarine, were constantly beating each other in battles. I'd like to say that the Loyalists are just like the margarine. Fake. They are true to their country and would rather be part of Britain in comparison to the Patriots, who long for the sweet release of Britain's chokehold on America. After mixing the sugar and margarine, you're going to want to add in the egg yolks and continue to beat until the mixture is creamy. You're then going to want to add your yogurt, which is just as sour as King George III was due to the fact that the American colonies wanted nothing to do with him. You're also going to want to add in 1 tablespoon of green tea and then mix it together. The reason I chose green tea was because it's the same type of tea that was thrown into the ocean by the American colonists during the Boston Tea Party. Then, sift in the flour and baking powder. Oh, it looks just like snow, which reminds me of the winter of 1777, where the local colonial army was able to get more supplies and become strong fighters. Even though there were so many soldiers, just like the large amount of flour, all it took was 1 winter or a little bit of baking powder to turn them around. Next, take all of your egg whites and beat them with an electric mixture until it begins to foam. After it starts foaming, slowly add in the sugar until the mixture is thick. So the electric mixer was incredibly loud, so you can't really hear me in this part, but I was basically just talking about how when the British and the Patriots fought at Kings Mountain, the Patriots won the battle. The sugar was supposed to be like reviving the hope, made them think that they had a chance at winning this revolution. Now that the mixture has begun to foam, we can add in the sugar little by little. Together with the rest of the batter. Make sure to fold them in on each other very gently as to not mess up the mixture and cause it to deflate. And just slowly mix. You're then going to want to take your baking pan and coat it with some sort of oil so that the batter does not stick to the pan. Usually we put parchment paper as well, but we didn't have any, so we're going to make do with what we've been given. You can then pour in your batter gently so that it does not spill. The final most important step is to bake your batter for 30 minutes. Baking the batter is just as important as the Battle of Yorktown, which was the final battle between the British and the Americans, leaving the colonists victorious and ending the revolution, gaining independence. At last, 30 minutes have passed and you're left with a newly baked cake, to be eaten or saved for later. Wow, America tastes great.